Mm.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Thank you so much for being here. So great to see you all. Welcome back to today's daily antidote of song. We are super excited still to be in the midst of our new year, new friends celebration where we are welcoming new artists into our room every day who we have never had the chance to sing with before. And we've met so many fabulous people this month, and today is another great day of meeting folk. Very excited to have Alex Sturbaum in the room, and we're going to get back to Alex in just a moment. Let's give them a big thank you for welcoming us in with that beautiful music. And Alex, we're glad you're here. We'll be right back to you. We're going to first say hello to everybody out there on the live stream. Hello to the folks out there on YouTube, and hello to the folks out there on Facebook. Thanks so much for joining us for day 1760 consecutive days of singing here in this space. Daily Antidote of Song, for anybody who's new, is noon ET every day, free, and you can watch it at noon, or you can also watch it afterwards, because we stream, and the stream is always there as a little archive of our joy in this room. I will say during sound check today with Alex, he mentioned something about this program that has been going on for half a decade, almost knocked me off my feet. I've never really thought of it that way. But hey, how's that for like a reality check, right? Thank you, Alex, for those magical words. Okay, let's say hi to the folks in this room. So everybody, please give it up for Ariana coming in from LA today to run our tech for us. Deborah in Kentucky, hello. Mabel, Anna Bear in Massachusetts. Deli in Maryland. Neil in Boston. Athena in Brooklyn, thank you for reminding me. Day 1760. Sarah coming in from Santa Cruz, California, hello, or good morning. Susan in Tacoma Park, Maryland, hello. Linda on Orcas Island, also good morning. Kathy in Colorado. I love all these folks who get up at 9 or 10 in the morning to sing with us. Pauline in Newcastle, UK. Arlene in California. Susan in Cincinnati, Ohio. Nan in Michigan. Hoda in British Columbia. Bob in Albany. Aloysius in Massachusetts. Emma, hello. Nice to see you again today. I can't remember if it's California, but we're glad you're here. Sarah in Texas, hello. Jonathan in Rhode Island. Ruth in Birmingham, UK. Laris in the UK. Marion in Brighton, UK. We got 3 UKs in a row. I love it. Caroline in DC, hello. I think next we have Julie in Ontario. Hello. Jamie in Victoria. Carolyn in Boise, Idaho. Also with a cue card for me for the day. James Harkless coming in from Maryland. Jim Harkless is one of our regular song leaders in this room, and I believe we'll be singing with him in early February. Clive in Birmingham, UK. Ellie coming in from the UK. Fred in Maryland. Louise coming in from Devon, UK. And Anne in Silver Spring, Maryland. And Annette in California. I think I got everybody who's got a camera on. Let's say hi to all the folks with their cameras off. That's Jenny in Suffolk, UK, Elizabeth in California, Maxine and John. Oops, there's Jane in Texas with a camera, and Julie in Ontario with a camera. Anne in Nashville turned on her camera. Maxine and John in Cape Cod. Maggie in California. Susan, Cincinnati. Olga, nice to see you today. Shruti is in the room. Shruti is coming in from Pune, India. Hello, Shruti. We're glad you're with us today. Thanks for joining. Shruti is a regular song leader and host in here, and we always love when you're with us. Curly Tops coming in from Vermont. Carol in Connecticut. Kathy, I think new to us today. Nancy, I think in Washington State. Gary in Mass. And Bob and Bear in Mass. Everybody, let's take a deep breath. Yeah, so we've got a lovely group of folks here in this room to celebrate our first day of singing with Alex. Welcome, Alex Sturbaum. Is that how you say your last name?
It is indeed.
Well, we are so excited that you are with us. So I want to let everybody know just a little bit about Alex before we start singing. They are a musician, a multi-instrumentalist, songwriter, singer, move around in the traditional music scene, play dance music and write, I think, some pretty incredible songs that have been noted to have a very traditional sound to them. And I'm super excited, Alex, for whatever the first song is you brought for us today. Welcome, and let's sing with you.
Well, thanks again for having me. I've been hearing about this program for many years now, and it's a treat to finally be here. And as such, I figured that you mentioned that I write songs, and I figured that it might be fun to debut one.
Do
So
you have
I've never actually sung this one for an audience before, because I wrote it under 2 weeks ago in response to some current events. Um, I borrowed a melody from Ed Pickford to an extent for it. Uh, some of you may know Ed Pickford for his wonderful songs about the miners' strikes in England. Um, so this is a song called "The Turning of the Year," and its lyrics are pretty self-explanatory. Um, it's sort of a template for what we can do in the next few years, hopefully. Um, uh, you may have the lyrics already, but here's the chorus. Muster up your courage for the turning of the year, for we've made a devil's bargain and the reckoning is here. And if there's to be tomorrow, then it will come wondrous dear. So be ready, yes, be ready for the turning of the year. Let's try that. Muster up your courage for the turning of the year, for we've made a devil's bargain and the reckoning is here. And if there's to be tomorrow, then it will come wondrous dear. So be ready, yes, be ready for the turning of the year. Everybody all right with that? Then let's have at. We'll start with the chorus. Muster up your courage for the turning of the year, for we've made a devil's bargain and the reckoning is here. And if there's to be tomorrow, then it will come wondrous dear. So be ready, yes, be ready for the turning of the year. The awful calm has ended, and the storm it has begun, but there's no time to grieve, my comrades, for there's work yet to be done. So don't give in to exhaustion, though the road be hard and long. We must walk it all together, and together we are strong. And muster up your courage for the turning of the year. We're made a devil's bargain, and the reckoning is here. And if there's to be tomorrow, then it will come wondrous dear. So be ready, yes, be ready for the turning of the year. We put faith in institutions that have reigned so high above. They sold out the least among us, and it wasn't near enough. So if party will not save us, we will have to save ourselves. Win 1,000 tiny battles in the places where we dwell. And muster up your courage for the turning of the year, for we've made a devil's bargain and the reckoning is here. And if there's to be tomorrow, then it will come wondrous dear. So be ready, yes, be ready for the turning of the year. Solidarity forever, solidarity, I say. The rights of any person living is a price too dear to pay. And will none of us see mercy when they come to grind us down? So know your rights and make them fight for every inch of ground. And muster up your courage for the turning of the year, for we've made a devil's bargain and the reckoning is here. And if there's to be tomorrow, then it will come wondrous dear. So be ready, yes, be ready for the turning of the year. In the ballot, street and factory, the courts and in our homes, gather all and any allies, none of us can stand alone. Find the thankless work needs doing, give whatever aid you can. Stand up and rise, get organized, and shout no passaran. And muster up your courage for the turning of the year. For we've made a devil's bargain, and the reckoning is here. And if there's to be tomorrow, then it will come wondrous dear. So be ready, yes, be ready for the turning of the year. Oh, be ready, yes, be ready for the turning of the year.
Alex Sturbaum, everybody. Thank you, Alex, for giving voice to so much of what we are thinking right now and feeling and experiencing, and also for the very positive sentiment in there that it will come wondrous dear. You know, whatever it is that's going to happen now, it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of effort and a lot of you know, the bolstering of hope and other things that we were speaking about before we even opened today. Tell us a little bit more about, you know, that song, how it came to you, how you're feeling, anything you want to say about it.
Well, I'm sure a lot of us are feeling sort of similar right now. Hope is kind of hard to come by right now. And so I am getting by on anger and spite, given that the forces that wish to scrub me from existence would be very happy if I shut up, laid down, and went quietly into that good night. And so I'm damned if I'll let the bastards win. I don't know if you can cuss on Daily Antidote of Song, but uh,
Yes, you can. You are not the first by any means. Yeah,
um,
that's a beautiful sentiment. Say a little bit more. I think it's really important that right now we're thinking and talking about you know, folks who might be feeling scared, worried, threatened, etc. in the world by whatever the choices that they make or the ways that they choose to live.
absolutely. Well, the way I'm feeling right now is that we all know that one of the strongest tools of fascism is exhaustion and despair. And that's exactly what like the past fortnight's barrage of executive orders have been about, is making us disoriented, scared, and making us give up as much ground as possible. But one of the and I'm sorry, this is going to be a very US centric episode. So um, thanks so much to all our friends in other countries for tuning in, and hopefully we can get these guys out the way that our English friends got the Tories out. Um, but like I said, most of like exhaustion and despair are a powerful tool. However, we are a big and complicated country, and while I'm feeling massive despair about what's happening at the federal level, um, what I'm remembering is that so much of the actual damage will come at the local level in our communities, and that is a place where we can fight against it. Whether it be voting in our local elections, whether it be protesting um, in our in our communities, whether it be organizing in our workplaces, whether it be filing legal challenges to gum up the works, slow the tide, and whether it be talking to and communicating with our our community members and changing minds one person at a time. Um, I know that we're all feeling pretty rough about the way things are, you know, in the major sense. But when if we feel like there's nothing we can do at the federal level, then there's a lot of us we can build up from a local level.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Alex. Beautiful sentiment. And yeah, you've just touched on so many things. So I don't even know where to start. In a way, you know, one of the things we say about the Daily Antidote is, you know, making each day better one song at a time. But when we're feeling really gutsy, we say changing the world one song at a time, because it really is, you know, at that local level, this small space where we're singing and reaching out to people and how that ripples out. You also said two things that I think really speak to things I've said before in this room. Pete Seeger used to say, you change the world one community at a time, not on the big level at the top, but from the bottom. And he also recommended a book to me once that I have thrown out in this space before, but I'm going to say it again because I hadn't actually thought about it in the context of what is going on now in the world. But it's called Blessed Unrest. And it is a book that suggests that the largest revolution of all times is in fact happening right now. And it is nonprofits and all of the work that they do in their own communities and how that is revolutionary. And yeah, I think that's a lot of stuff for us to really remember right now. The other thing I want to say is that I saw a Facebook post recently that said, hey, everybody, how about instead of posting, all the woe about the latest news, if we just start posting what we're doing about it? Because every time we post a new thing that says what we're doing about it, we're inspiring all the other folks to remember that they can do something too, that they're not alone. And I thought that was really brilliant because it is really tempting to just keep repeating the mantra of all of the stuff that we're hearing around us in the news and in the media. But if you take a different take on it, it's another way of changing your local community, is hitting the people that you know and love with inspiration and a little bit more of an uplift. Thank you, Alex, for all of that. It is so amazing to talk to you in this space and at this time. Do you want to say anything more about what we're talking about, or would you like to potentially sing something else for us?
I'd like to do both in in sort of the same way, because we were talking about things that we can do, and one of them, however small it may seem, is divesting, is organizing our workplaces and divesting from the massive companies that have bought and sold our government. And I'd like to sing a song, and I'm sorry, I just came up with this one, so we don't have words locked and loaded, but I'll teach them to you. This is a song in support of Amazon unionization, and it's a song that was based off of a real-life tragedy that happened in Edwardsville, Illinois, in the winter of 2001. Or not 2001, 2021, I'm sorry, in which there was a massive tornado warning across the entire county. People were advised to get out of their workplaces and seek shelter. And people at the Amazon warehouse were told that they would lose their jobs if they left. And it was really the callous response of Amazon when a tornado leveled the warehouse and killed 6 people that made it deserving of immortalization in song. So this is another one of mine. This is called 6 Workers Dead in Illinois. You may notice that I do not go in too much for metaphor in the songs I write. So the chorus of this one goes, 6 workers dead in... Whoa, that's too high for this morning. I'm gonna drop it a half step. 6 workers dead in Illinois, and it just goes to show the boss will either kill you fast or he will kill you slow. So join the union while you can before the chance is gone. If we don't stand together, then they'll crush us one by one. Let's try that now. 6 workers dead in Illinois, and it just goes to show the boss will either kill you fast or he will kill you slow. So join the union while you can before the chance is gone. If we don't stand together, then they'll crush us one by one. They were stuck inside a warehouse on a cold midwinter's eve. There were twister warnings screaming, but they weren't allowed to leave. The bosses had their quotas set by Bezos from on high. Bosses never give a damn if workers live or die. There were husbands, wives, and children waiting out the storm at home. The workers couldn't call them 'cause the bosses took their phones. So it wasn't till the morning that the dreadful news come round. The storm rose in its fury and it tore the warehouse down. 6 workers dead in Illinois, and it just goes to show the boss will either kill you fast or he will kill you slow. So join the union while you can before the chance is gone. If we don't stand together, then they'll crush us one by one. Word came to Jeff soon after, but he didn't say a word. He was busy playing spaceman, didn't want to be disturbed. His company was quicker and they said they'd think and pray. They gave the town a mill and hoped that it would go away. It took Jeff about 5 minutes time to get that million back. And other warehouse workers now are taking up the slack. So Amazon is doing fine, seems like they always will. And it doesn't seem to matter just how many folks they kill. 6 workers dead in Illinois, and it just goes to show the boss will either kill you fast or he will kill you slow. So join the union while you can before the chance is gone. If we don't stand together, then they'll crush us one by one. You can sit and wait forever for the bosses to decide that your life is worth more to them than the precious bottom line. You can hope that voting does the trick, hell it may yet somehow. But Congress wheels grind slowly and we need a change right now. Well, the bosses, they will threaten and they'll bluster and they'll lie. They'll tell you how much worse it is for folks who organize. But we could get our dignity and freedom if we dared, and they wouldn't try to bust the unions if they weren't scared. 6 workers dead in Illinois, and it just goes to show the boss will either kill you fast or he will kill you slow. So join the union while you can before the chance is gone. If we don't stand together, then they'll crush us one by one.
Thank you so much, Alex Sturbaum. That is a very powerful song. You can really hear in that song what the folks who write about you mean when they say that your new songs have a very traditional ring to them. It's that sort of power of the labor movement songs and the union songs that is embedded in there in a super incredibly deep and like expansive way. And I'm so grateful to you for bringing that, for helping us to think about that, and again, the context of what it all means today, now, just some few years later after that, and as things are changing or escalating in the world. I would love, Alex, if you would just take a moment to let us know what you have coming up in your musical world, and maybe a little bit about whatever you've released in your musical world, because you're new to the Daily and maybe to at least some of the folks in this room.
Absolutely. Well, I think the next thing I have coming up, I mean, I play a lot of contra dances and events all sort of all over the country. Um, but I think the next big thing is that my band Countercurrent, which is a duo of myself and fiddler Brian Lindsay, are hoping to release our new album in just a month or so. And in the first 2 weeks of March, we are planning on a Pacific Northwest release tour. So if you are in the Pacific Northwest, keep an eye out for that. We'll be um, playing in various locales. Um, I also am one of the principal organizers for two different folk weekends. One of them is going to be taking place in October this year. It's called Raise the Rafters Traditional Song Weekend. It's an intergenerational singing weekend with a focus on social justice and a focus on sort of helping to raise up the next song leaders of tomorrow. And we gather and we sing and do workshops and sing and talk about the future of social singing and sing and have interesting conversations with each other and get to know each other and build connections and community and sing some more. Um, and it's a really, really good time. This will be our 4th year of doing Raise the Rafters. You can get on the mailing list at rtrsong.org, and we'll be opening registration in the next couple of months, I think. Um, the other weekend that I organize, this is its 1st year. A different bandmate of mine, Hayden Stern, and I um, were sort of reeling in the wake of the election and wondering, what can we as two trans people who play piddly little folk music do to counteract this tide of hatred? And we were saying, well, it would be nice if there was a folk festival that centered, you know, trans and non-binary musicians, so that um, we could build solidarity throughout the folk community and also with each other as musicians. And also, we just know so many just absolutely killer musicians who, live outside of the gender binary. And it's my hope, and because of who we are as people, we went from, boy, this festival would be nice, to opening our calendars and starting the Google Doc. So we're very much building the airplane as we're flying it, but it's going to be the first weekend of June right here in Olympia, Washington. It's called TransTrad. Um, and oh yeah, someone dropped the link in the chat. Wonderful. So it's going to be a good time. There's going to be jams and concerts, and we've already got Starling from the East Coast and Morgan Harris, who's an absolutely astonishing guitar player from Colorado, on staff, and we've got more coming down the pipeline. So we'll keep you posted about that. And other than that, I'm just going to keep on trucking, playing as many gigs as they'll let me.
Beautiful. Alex, thank you so much. They sound like amazing events. I always love it when we're talking about things that are happening on the other side of the US from where we are, or, in other countries.
Sorry if I can interject.
Yeah, please.
I'll be touring New England in the first week of May with Countercurrent. So keep an eye out for that if you are in New England and wish to come see me. If you're in Old England, I can't help you yet, but hopefully someday.
Beautiful. Thank you, Alex. Well, we look forward to, hopefully our West Coast folks finding you at your festivals there, or your workshops there, and our, New England folks finding you here, and yeah, hopefully some overseas at some point. I do want to remind everybody to check out Alex's website. He's got a discography on his website with a lot of incredible music, and I really encourage everybody to go look and listen. And Alex, this has been brilliant. And you know what I'm feeling right now, I'm not sure if this would work for you, but I feel like if we sang the chorus about bolstering up our courage, maybe like 3 or 4 times to close us out today, it would be like a really great way to sort of leave our space today. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I'd be down. I could also just sing the song again, and then we'd get 5 choruses.
Let's sing the song again.
Muster up your courage for the turning of the year, for we've made a devil's bargain and the reckoning is here. And if there's to be tomorrow, then it will come wondrous here. So be ready, yes, be ready for the turning of the year. The awful calm has ended, and the storm it has begun, but there's no time to grieve, my comrades, for there's work yet to be done. So don't give in to exhaustion, though the road be hard and long. We must walk it all together, and together we are strong. And muster up your courage for the turning of the year, for we've made a devil's bargain and the reckoning is here. And if there there's to be tomorrow, then it will come wondrous, dear. So be ready, yes, be ready for the turning of the year. We put faith in institutions that have reigned so high above. They sold out the least among us, and it wasn't near enough. So if party will not save us, we will have to save ourselves in 1,000 tiny battles in the places where we dwell. So muster up your courage for the turning of the year, for we've made a devil's bargain and the reckoning is here. And if there's to be tomorrow, then it will come wondrous, dear. So be ready, yes, be ready for the turning of the year. Solidarity forever, solidarity, I say. The rights of any person living is a price too dear to pay. And will none of us see mercy when they come to grind us down? So know your rights and make them fight for every inch of ground. And muster up your courage for the turning of the year, for we've made a devil's bargain and the reckoning is here. And if there's to be tomorrow, then it will come wondrous, dear. So be ready, yes, be ready for the turning of the year. In the ballot, street, and factory, the courts, and in our homes, gather all and any allies. None of us can stand alone. Find the thankless work needs doing, give whatever aid you can. Stand up and rise, get organized, and shout no passeran. And muster up your courage for the turning of the year, for we've made a devil's bargain and the reckoning is here. And if there's to be tomorrow, then it will come wondrous, dear. So be ready, yes, be ready for the turning of the year. Oh, be ready, yes, be ready for the turning of the year.
Thank you so much, Alex. You had the exact right idea of singing through the whole song again and not the chorus. I really appreciate that. Everybody, please give it up for Alex Sturbaum.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for being here. We hope that this year, your first time with the Daily Antidote, will not by any means be your last. We would love to sing with you again in the near future. We've really enjoyed having you, and it's been really, really great to be able to have some great, thoughtful discussion with you.
It's been my pleasure.
Thank you again to everybody also in this room for being here. Your smiles, your energy, your presence is what makes this so meaningful and so special, and brings this sense of community and that we're not in it alone to the forefront. For everybody out there who's watching on Facebook or on YouTube, whether you're watching right now in real time with us or you're watching it later in the day, we know you're there. We feel you. We're really glad that you choose to be part of this community and to come in here and to seek, give back, and grow with us in all the ways that we're able to do. Let's say a big thank you to Carpe Diem Arts for keeping this program going day after day after day. I will toss out into the ether that we can always use donations to keep this program going. This program is free. Much of its staff is unpaid, and we are trying really hard to keep it going through the next 5 years as we approach the end of our 5th year of singing together. So give generously as you can. It's a really valuable program, and it's touching a lot of lives. At this point, we are over 450,000 views. So that's a lot of that we've put out there in the universe, and we want to keep it going. Thanks again to Alex Sturbaum. Amazing, beautiful fit here in the Daily Antidote song. Can't wait to see you again. And thank you again, of course, to everybody in this room. Thanks to Ariana for running tech for us out of Los Angeles. We're glad that you're here and part of our team. And thanks to everybody. Hey, you know what? After we just did a song like that with that much power in it, let's look everybody in the eye today to say a goodbye. So Deborah in Kentucky, we're all there looking at you. Bob and Mabel and the Bears, thank you so much for being with us today. Neil in Boston, great to see you. Thank you so much. Athena in Brooklyn, lovely to see you. I love the orange shirt. You're very bright and sunshiny today. Pauline in Newcastle, UK, thank you for being with us. Arlene in Berkeley, California, thank you so much. Susan in Cincinnati, great to see your smile today. Thank you for being with us. Carolyn and the Pete Seeger Puppet in Boise, Idaho, thank you for being here. Anne in Nashville, Tennessee. Nice to see you today. Thank you. Bob in Albany, New York. Thanks for being here today. Jonathan coming in from Rhode Island. Glad to have you in our room again today. Ruth in Birmingham, UK. Really lovely to see you. Thank you so much. Kathy in Colorado. Thank you so much for being with us. Laris in the UK. Thank you so much. Marion in Brighton, UK. Thank you for being here. Jim Harkless coming in from Maryland. Thanks for being here. Emma, I wish I could remember where you're from. Very glad to see your smile today. Ellie in the UK, thanks for being here. Susan in Tacoma Park, Maryland. Thank you. Sarah in Santa Cruz, California. Diane in Puerto Rico. Nan in Michigan. Switching to page 2 to see our other lovelies. Caroline in DC. Linda on Orcas Island. Clive in Birmingham, UK. Louise coming in from Devon, UK. Aloysius in Massachusetts. Nice to see you. Jamie in Victoria. Fred in Silver Spring, Maryland. Anne in Silver Spring, Maryland. Annette in California. Jenny in Suffolk, UK. Jane in Texas. Delhi in Maryland. Hoda coming in from British Columbia. Maxine and John on Cape Cod. Curly Tops in Vermont. We got a sighting of them. Nice to see you. Kathy, nice to have you with us today. Not sure if you're new, but we are glad you're here. A welcome to any new people to stay after today. I'll say a little hello, find out how you found us, learn where you're coming in from. Mommy in New Jersey, thank you for being here and for being such a great support of the Daily Antidote. Oh, look, we've got Campbell, Natalia, and maybe the wee ones there behind the screen. Good to see you guys coming in from Cambridge. We're glad you joined us. Linda in Concord, Mass. Nice to see you. Gary, also Mass. Laura in Seattle, maybe new to us today. Nice to have you. Lynn in Connecticut and Storm in Massachusetts. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Lots of love. Please stick around in the Daily Antidote of Song by joining us tomorrow and the next day and the next day, because we'll be here tomorrow and we hope to see you here. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks again, Alex.